breaking news will show on this channel.
Sri Lanka's MPs are voting for a new president after their former leader fled the country and quit amid protests over the country's economic crisis. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, currently interim leader, has been nominated for the role by the ruling party and is seen as the frontrunner. But protesters want him to go too after President Gotabaya Rajapaksa resigned. The PM faces a serious challenge from Dulles Allahaparuma, a dissident ruling party MP backed by the main opposition. Whoever is elected by Parliament will have a mandate to serve out the rest of Mr. Rajapaksa's term, which ends in November 2024. Sri Lanka is effectively bankrupt and facing acute shortages of food, fuel, and other basic supplies. The country needs a stable government to continue stalled negotiations with the International Monetary Fund for a bailout package. Mr. Rajapaksa's administration and family, which have ruled the country for nearly 2 decades, have been blamed for the current crisis. He fled to the Maldives last week after crowds took over government buildings, demanding political leaders, including Mr. Wickremesinghe, step down. Mr. Rajapaksa then flew to Singapore and officially resigned late on Thursday. On Wednesday, police lined barricades outside of Parliament during the vote. Meanwhile, a crowd of demonstrators gathered outside the president's secretariat office. There are fears that the election outcome, particularly if Mr. Wickremesinghe wins, could trigger further unrest from protesters. A total of 225 parliamentarians will cast their vote. If a contender receives more than half of the preferential vote, they win the position outright. It is a 3-way contest between Mr. Wickremesinghe, Mr. Allahaparuma, and Anurakumara Dissanayake, leader of the left-wing Janatha Vimukti Peramuna party, which commands just 3 seats in Parliament. Mr. Allahaparuma is a senior MP from the governing Sri Lanka Pajajana Peramuna, the Rajapaksa's party, which swept to victory in a landslide in the last elections. A former minister under that administration, he was among the cabinet members who quit en masse shortly after protests began in April. However, he does not have any top-level governance experience. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa was initially expected to run for president, but in a last-minute twist on Tuesday he withdrew from the race, saying it was for the greater good of the country. He added his party, which has about a quarter of the seats in Parliament, would work towards Mr. Allahaparuma's victory. Reports say he could get the job of prime minister in such an eventuality. Mr. Wickremesinghe, a 6-time prime minister who has never served a full term, is perhaps the most contentious of the 3 candidates. Some protest organizers have vowed to continue demonstrating if he becomes president, with many pointing out that he has close links with the Rajapaksa family. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to support us. Thank you.